A study by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention found that 30% of people did not wash their hands before eating at a restaurant, and 29% did not wash their hands after coughing, sneezing, or having a runny nose. This is the owl mascot that a teacher in Charlotte carved into stone. And to really comprehend how much work went into this project, you have to take a close look at this fine detail, these fine lines into the rock. David French is an artist in Charlotte that usually focuses here on city landscapes. So the interest rate for a home mortgage was about 8%. Fast forward 10 years, the interest rate was 4.7%. Now you can get a mortgage with an interest rate as low as 2.33%. And this is what's challenging for a deaf person, because once you put this over your mouth, they can't understand you. This is what it looks like when you're training to run 750 miles.
Rain or shine, we've got a goal of 25 miles a day, so this is going to be normal.
Richard Sexton has been training for the last year.
It averaged out to about 4 hours a day, but it was for the long rucks I'd go out for probably about 7.
He usually trains about 25 hours a week, and that's on top of having a full-time job.
Just careful time management and, like I said, making a few compromises on the sleep schedule.
And these runs aren't for beginners.
I've got a sling that I use when my shoulders get too tired.
That's because inside this backpack is a reminder.
This is Slappy.
Slappy weighs 25 pounds.
He is kind of representative of the challenge, the day-to-day kind of weight that families with autism have to deal with.
This is why Richard runs all these miles, for autism awareness.
Hey there.
He was inspired by his friend Becky.
It's raining and miserable, and you know, I'm in my element.
Becky Large runs Champion Autism Network. The national nonprofit trains business employees on how to approach people with autism.
When they go to these certified and aware businesses, by showing the card, the business knows that there's somebody with autism on their property.
Large wants to raise $50,000 to reach and train more businesses. And that's where Richard's Cross Carolina run comes in.
She's making a difference, and I can help her make a difference, and that is kind of the most important thing about this whole endeavor.
He admits the training has taken a toll on his body.
But who needs toenails? They don't do anything.
Despite the physical demands, he's determined to keep going.
I have no doubt there are going to be some days where I just want to put this pack down and give up. I know that, but I also know that I've got, families depending on me, and I want to be a good role model for these kids.
Since the age of 3, Seth Elvo has been riding on 2 wheels.
It's an adrenaline-based activity. It's physical, and it's not boring. I think it's the most fun you can have with the amount of input that you have put into it.
He likes mountain biking so much that when he bought a home in North Carolina, he built his own trail system. Right in his own backyard. That led him to making videos and posting them on YouTube.
I don't know how many videos I've made, but I know it's a minimum of 400.
The videos got the attention of the mountain biking community all around the world, with millions of views. And before he knew it, strangers were showing up at his house to ride.
People were always really bummed that they couldn't ride it. Obviously, I can't have fans on my property riding it.
So he parlayed his YouTube fame into something even more exciting.
I just woke up one day and made a post and said, hey, you guys are paying me for early videos and things like that today. Tomorrow, you're paying me to build a bike park.
He raised about $200,000 and connected with this guy, Nick Scheuer, who is also the town manager in Canton, North Carolina.
Just on town staff, we've got the mayor, the chief of police, and myself that are avid mountain bikers.
As it turns out, the town was already working on a larger project called Chestnut Mountain, which will now include a bike park.
It brings quality of life, it brings economic development, it brings conservation and protection to our mountains that we love.
We are the ones taking the risk in this community to prove to everybody that it works. And then once we've shown that it works, they're gonna build them everywhere. Every town is gonna be racing to do this.
Here we go.
Every time Erin Johnson puts her 2-year-old daughter Olive in her car seat, it's a reminder of the past. Her older daughter Bridget was the same age when she died 4 years ago in a hot car.
I obviously take a lot of steps now to keep my youngest daughter safe. I hope when she grows up, we can tell her about her older sister and understand that she's part of our family and we loved her very much.
It's a tragedy that Johnson says feels like yesterday.
I was just driving to work one day. My husband and I had taken turns that week, dropping her off at daycare, which was unusual.
Johnson said her mind was in autopilot as she drove to work. She was thinking her husband had taken her daughter to daycare, but it turns out her daughter, Bridget, was in the back of her car.
And somebody called me at 4 o'clock that day to let me know that she had been found in the car.
Authorities pronounced 2-year-old Bridget dead.
It's hard to put into words.
For the first time, Johnson feels she is ready to talk about it.
This was her on her dad's four-wheeler.
She is now pushing for a legislative bill known as the Hot Cars Act.
Can we sit in your seat?
No.
It would require all new cars to be equipped with sensors to let drivers know a child is in the back seat.
I want them to know that this could happen to anyone. It can happen to the most loving, responsible parents. Come on. Woo, good job.
Johnson says people have said terrible things to her about the accident, but she says nothing is as hurtful as knowing she will never see one of her daughters again.
It feels like there will always be a piece of me missing.
Losing a child is a feeling she hopes no one else ever has to experience. Reporting in Rowan County, Kari Beal, Spectrum News 1.
When the four winds blow and they call out your name.
Like many of us during the pandemic, Woody Williams had some extra time on his hands.
Once again,
So he picked up his guitar
as they bury your heart.
and found an audience that could watch from home.
Just a word for the wise. And I said, well, let's see what we got in the can. When the four winds blow.
At the ripe age of 72, Williams downloaded TikTok.
Yeah, that's my TikTok again.
He put his name as the Funky Geezer and pressed post.
It's right there in my little living room.
That was his first video, and it now has nearly 10 million views.
When it went through the roof, I said, wow. Well, what's that? What's next?
So he went on to play his music
There is a house in New Orleans.
and show off his art skills.
I've got Kazakhstan wanting me to do shows in Canada and England and Micronesia. I don't even know where Micronesia is. Oh, you made me love.
But he's not chasing fame.
It's bitter cold you will feel. My motto is to inspire until you expire. Dig my own grave.
His goal is to simply make you laugh.
Like this one was, I made a tinfoil walker. It's about being happy, and then I just wadded it up and threw it away and kicked it.
The Funky Geezer says he knows his age is catching up to him,
I might be a geriatric geezer before it's over with.
but he plans to keep playing and encouraging others to do the same.
I will meet you in broken heart. And get involved, have some fun, express yourself.